Commander, hail Ming approaching.
What do you mean, Hail Ming approaching?
War rocket Ajax is on our screen and heading right for us.
Secure all posts. Raise all shields. Fire all lasers. Cue the music.
What's going on, everybody? Yes, we are back for another episode of the Hail Ming Power Hour. We've been kind of out of it a little bit, but we've decided to regroup and kick out another episode. Maybe a slight difference. I think that we've kind of gone back old school here with a couple of us. I think Mark's going to kind of weave in and out as we go along. He's got other responsibilities, and we can understand that.
Yeah, he is a busy beaver, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, don't freak out because he's not here, but you'll still be hearing him for sure. But I'm along with my old compadre. It's just mano a mano here. It's myself and Mr. Danny Bennett. What's going on, brother?
I am just like a dirty reflection in a lackluster mirror. But, when you come to me, I try and bring back something of what you give.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. It's good to be back, and it's good to be talking about movies we love and movies that hopefully you'll run out and buy for yourself because you won't be able to wait to check them out based on our gleaming recommendation.
So, yes, this is going to be a whole bunch of fun because this is a classic that we both really, really cherish. I remember going and seeing this in the theater back in the day. We are talking about 1977's Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
Arguably the only Sinbad movie you have to see, but it's definitely that. I mean, the other ones are all great. I'm not casting any dispersions on them, but Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger is kind of the opus of that whole series, in my opinion.
That's a nice opinion.
Hey.
But with that being said, before we can go any further with the show, we have to talk about sponsors for the show, because that's how we make this whole show work. You got any sponsors for us, Danny?
I do. I managed to secure a lucrative sponsorship with the Vacuum House, and the Vacuum House has sales and services, and their whole theme, what they want to impart to you is that everything we sell sucks at the Vacuum House.
I mean, it's funny because as soon as you said vacuum, I said, yeah, it's going to have suck in the title some way.
Well, they know that it's funny, and that's what they bank on. You come in there, get yourself something that sucks.
It's the vacuum what now?
The Vacuum House.
Vacuum House.
That's right.
All right. Well, that kind of goes hand in hand with our first sponsor that I got this week. It's a new group coming out. Making new styles of undergarments, and these guys are called Commando Underwear.
Oh,
that's
dear.
Right, Commando Underwear. It's like wearing nothing at all.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
Well, and I managed to get a local firm, a law firm on our side. They specialize in divorces. It's the law firm of Ditcher, Quick and Hyde. That's right. Ditcher, Quick, and Hyde. The divorce is our specialty.
I think I just saw a special on them on 2020 last night.
Is 2020 still come on? Really?
Well, I think they're reruns because, right now there's nothing to watch because everybody's locked up. And you know what's weird?
What's weird?
Passing through the channels and you see wrestling happening, and they're wrestling and there's like no crowd. It's like the most awkward thing to watch.
Hey, and the really strange thing is, since the wrestlers are practicing social distancing, they're swinging and they still seem to be getting hit, even from 6 feet away.
I just love the I just love the fact that they do things to get a crowd reaction and there's no crowd.
Yeah, man, it's weird.
Hey, you do what you got to do. But while you're watching wrestling, that's when you go check out our next sponsors to go along for a nice treat while you're watching. It's Roscoe's Potted Meat. That's right, it's Roscoe. I don't know if it's the same Roscoe from Dukes of Hazzard or not, but Roscoe's Potted Meat, and their slogan is "It's like meat in a pot."
That's what I would expect from old Roscoe. He's kind of a straight shooter.
So with that brings us right into what did you watch? Did you watch All right. Did you watch anything, Danny?
Yeah. I watched a they've been doing all these live reboots lately, and they decided to switch from doing these live reboots of TV shows, and they're going to do a live reboot of 2 TV shows pushed together. So instead of All in the Family and Cheers, it's actually a live reboot, starring Matthew McConaughey and an aged Pam Grier called Ale in the Family.
Did you watch this, or is it something you're gonna watch?
No, to both.
Okay.
It's not okay,
Well,
but thanks for saying so. Go ahead.
You know me, I'm a big sucker for documentaries, and I checked out one called "Where's Russell." It's a documentary about a meatpacking plant started and shared by the Shard brothers in 1986, and they tell of the financial gains and bad blood between the owners. And like I said, there's the 2 brothers. So Russell, the older of the 2 brothers, didn't agree with the new venture that his brother had for a potted meat product, which leads to the split in partnership, his brother gaining complete ownership of the company, and the disappearance of Russell. It's Bobcat Goldthwait is narrating this true story of money, greed, and meat byproduct. Wow. I think his brother was Roscoe.
I just think that meat product. Yeah, that's...
Where's Russell?
So did you walk away from that, unable to walk straight? Because I can't imagine that being much of a fun listen.
Well, it really makes me question Roscoe's Potted Meat now, because it's like meat in a pot. So it may be Russell's Potted Meat.
Russell's Potted Meat. That sounds like a different kind of movie, maybe.
Exactly.
Not a good one. Not a good one.
Did you watch anything else?
Nope.
Well, alrighty then. That takes us right out of it. What did you watch? What did you watch? Did you watch stuff? Yes, I know you get to hear the outro twice, girl, but who cares? Alright, folks, we'll be right back. Until then, you can snap into a Slim Jim.
The Hail Ming Power Hour is brought to you by Rita Repulsa's ED treatment. Magic Wand, make my monster grow. And loyal subjects of Mongo like you. Hail Ming!
The following is a paid advertisement and proud sponsor of the Hail Ming Power Hour.
my touch. Losing my touch. Losing my touch.
Don't lose your touch, man. This is Keith Richards. Playing a little band called the Rolling Stones. Now, due to the COVID-19 virus, man, I'm pushing my new venture. I've had this under my thumb for a while. It's my own hand sanitizer. It's just simply called Keef. That's K-E-F-F, man. It's almost 90% alcohol and made entirely from my own blood. I can't get no satisfaction from anything else, man. After all the hard living I've done, it goes to show, if this stuff can't kill me, my hand sanitizer will squash this stuff like a rolling stone, man. If you've been with a honky-tonk woman, paint your hands black with Keef. Have a little sympathy for the devil and get yours today, wherever fine products are sold. You can't always get what you want, but you can get my hand sanitizer at Walgreens. Use Keef and don't lose your touch.
All right, folks, welcome back. We are getting ready to check out the 1977 movie Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger. It's the Eye of the Tiger. No, it's been cool if that was the theme song, right? But before we do that, we have to have a synopsis, right? So to bring us the synopsis, this is somebody we haven't heard since the early days. And we brought him back. Here's to do Sinbad synopsis. Here's a crappy Jimmy Stewart.
Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, a 1977 film. Move over, Pi, because Sinbad the sailor sailed to deliver a cursed prince to a dangerous island in the face of deadly opposition from a powerful witch. Don't eat the apple. It's rated G for G's. That's a lot of dangerous stuff there. Cursed, dangerous, deadly, powerful. I didn't know Sinbad did serious things. I thought he was a funny man. Well, IMDb gave it a 6.4. Well, if you divide that by 8, that's 8/10. Not bad, not bad.
Oh, Jimmy.
Wow. I kind of thought he would have something else to say after that. It seemed like he was leading us somewhere.
Yeah, well,
Leading us to a dangerous island. Hey, are we ready to get into the time machine and go on back to 1977?
Absolutely, folks. We haven't done this in a while, but we with all the funding that we got and all of you guys not giving to our Patreon page, we were able to scrounge up enough money to get the time machine running again. So here we go. Strap yourselves in.
Okay, here we go.
It's been a while.
Did the wheel just come off?
I don't remember it being so bumpy. Oh, wow.
Oh,
It's been a while.
that was smooth.
Hey, 1977, man. Here we are.
I saw this movie in the theater too.
Oh yeah?
I did. I was younger than you, but I saw it in the theater.
Yeah. My mom actually took me to see this.
Nice.
Yeah. She don't remember it though, because I'd asked her about it earlier.
Well, I mean,
She said, "What movie y'all going to talk about?" I said, "Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger." She said, "Yeah, I don't know what that is." I said, "You took me to see it."
maybe did she just leave you there?
It must have.
Yeah. Like, here, enjoy. I'm out.
So here's one thing about this movie. We already talked about the synopsis. We kind of know what the story is. To me, this movie is like, we said this before with Clash of the Titans about that kind of being the last hurrah for the Harryhausen type stuff.
Yeah.
But this movie was on track to do pretty well, and it still was successful. But this is the same year Star Wars came out. So really, this was the death of this style of movie. I mean, that was the big change. So when you look at this and you look at the first Star Wars, Episode 4, you see a very big contrast in special effects. And I think that's really what started hurting these style of movies, because these were on a roll. You know, you had Golden Voyage in 73, then you started having, your remakes of Journey to the Center of Earth and all those kind of things happening. These are still fun, but you can really tell this is where the brakes were thrown on, as far as this style of movie making, because it still feels like you can almost take Seventh Voyage, which came out in the 50s, and compare this one, and very little has changed. You're still making the same style of movie. Not that I'm complaining. I'm just saying that you kind of ran its course at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of like a James Bond film. You got the same kind of hero. You got the same layout, and it was. I think it's arguably Harryhausen that made these movies worth seeing.
You're right on the money, because the acting was always kind of cardboardish from no matter what movie you pick of these.
Yeah, and you went from monster to monster, just waiting to see what it was going to be next.
Right. So with that being said, I mean, you've got some stuff you want to talk about before we get into it, or?
No. I mean, I remember, like I said, I remember going to the theater to see it, and it must have been after I saw Star Wars, because Star Wars was the first theater movie I saw. But I do remember the end sequence with the Aurora Borealis and the cage and all that. I remember seeing that in the theater as a kid, and so just like movies tended to run for several years, it probably was just in that run time, and we went to the theater to see it then, and it was still impressive, but it was no Star Wars, like you said. It was kind of the death knell of this kind of series of movies.
Right. And as a kid, I mean, this is still the only version that you got to see. It's either this or more of the kaiju thing with a dude in a giant suit. This was your other version of seeing big monsters on the screen, so you would take whatever you could get. And, it's still a lot of fun, and we're going to talk about what the fun stuff is in this movie. So you want to kick us off? What's your number one reason, Danny, to watch Eye of the Tiger?
Man, so the first reason I've got written down, I mean, there might be something that tripped my trigger before this, but is a whole bunch of firebug demons getting crushed by some Lincoln logs.
Yeah.
It's not enough that the firebug demons are stop motion, but also they just used miniature sticks and made it look like it was a bunch of big logs.
Absolutely.
And you can tell, man.
Yeah. And just the whole idea of Patrick Wayne taking his sword out, or Sinbad, and reaching over and trying to hit this imaginary string that is not even really there, because it's a miniature. But yeah, you're right. You could tell that these were very, very small. But, it works, I guess back in the day, you probably couldn't tell, because we've gotten so much better with the graphics.
I think there was just, there was less expectation for things to be so seamless. You looked at it and you say, oh, I know what that was. That's kind of cool. And you moved on. But
these demon bugs, man, were cool, though.
They're awesome.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't your average Harryhausen skeletons, or monster. They were these kind of like insectoid looking fighters with but they had swords and shields, didn't they? Or just swords? They had swords and shields. Yeah, because I think they clapped the blade on their shield a couple of times.
But yeah, the thing is every one of these movies, you're going to have somebody with black magic come up and throw some stuff on the ground, and some skeletons or demonoids or something will come up out of the ground with swords, So yeah. It's just part of the folklore of all this, and it's still awesome. I mean, when I saw it, I was like, yeah.
Well, you knew it was going to be a fun fight, except for that one dude who got poisoned before it happened. Like,
don't drink it; it's poison.
They straight up tried to poison him and his men. They're like, well, Sinbad's here. Well, just poison them all. Come on to my tent. There are women and there's wine. Yeah, great. Nothing suspicious about that.
The whole idea of our lead bad person here is basically wanting her son to be the crowned king, and it's falling onto this prince So, what you do in order to keep the prince from being crowned, you just turn him into a baboon.
Yeah. and let me say of Prince Kasim, who was about to be turned caliph at the beginning, and then he gets turned into a baboon. I'm not sure that the baboon was a downgrade as far as looks wise. He's kind of like a long-nosed Christopher Plummer. That's what I saw. I
just love the fact of that's the creature we decided to go with. It's almost like, hey, Ray Harryhausen, what creature have you not used in a movie yet? I've got a baboon. Yeah, that'll work.
Well, that leads you to all the chess-playing baboon things, which, got to have that.
Well, my number one reason is Winona's big brass boat.
Whew. Yeah.
So, I love the idea of we're gonna, Sinbad's gonna try to help change the baboon back, and it's a road movie from there on. I mean, it's chasing each other across the seas, which is the fastest 7 days of travel ever.
Yeah, I agree. And every time they got someplace, it was like, oh, we're here at the land. I guess we can walk right to where we need to be. But hey.
I'm just, they even go to the Antarctic, and I'm like, can you really get there in 7 days in a sailboat?
You can if you're Sinbad.
I guess so. But yeah, man, this brass boat, our bad people have built, everything is based off of brass for some reason. And it's real sleek, small design, and it's powered by somebody that we will bring up next, I'm sure, because it's probably my favorite reason to even watch the movie. But it's small, it's kind of aerodynamic, kind of stealthy looking. It's a cool boat.
Yeah, I don't disagree, man. I mean, it's a cool boat. The one question I have about it will come up when we get to talking about, like you said, the next thing coming up. And I'll go ahead and I'll break that right now and say, Minotaur, the brass Minotaur. They stick a clock in his chest, and they're like, with this mechanical art, I bring him to life. And then he's Minotaur. He can row for the strength of 6 men.
60 men.
So he's rowing, and when he rows, all these other oars are going, right? And here's where my question comes in. The king's men are checking him out, and they're like, oh, look, there's a boat out there. We'll go check it out. And they get in their dinghy. They go out to the boat, right? And Zenobia, she sees them, and she's like, oh, you know what? We got to knock him out. She says, Minotaur, turn the boat around. So this is where I have my problem. How does Minotaur turn the boat, man? He has one lever.
He's not steering. He's just paddling, right?
and if he's not steering the boat, why tell him? And if he is steering the boat, how? My question.
And just the fact that he builds up enough speed to ram them and kill them all.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't kill that one dude, so you get that scene of him spearing the guy and lifting him up and throwing him in the water on the other side. It's pretty badass.
It's pretty awesome. Of course, he could have just stabbed him in the water and been done with it. He didn't have to pick him up.
I'm true.
Pretty sure he probably would have died just from the stabbing.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't throwing him off on the other side of the boat that killed that dude.
No. But it was showing Minotaur's strength, right?
Yeah. Minotaur, man. Brass Minotaur, super cool.
And the heart, I mean, we get to see him actually put the heart into him, and his eyes open up, and he comes to life. But the heart is just, it doesn't really keep a regular time. It just kind of goes tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah, it's like it's like a little pocket watch looking thing too. Yeah.
It's like a steampunk, piece of jewelry.
But that just adds to the whole mystique of the movie. There's so many little weird things in it. She could have just brought him to life like she brought the insectoid fighters to life, and just thrown powder and it blows up and he stands up. But there's cool little things in the movie that make it, I don't know, just a little bit better.
Sure. Did you know that supposedly, I read this in doing a little research, but Peter Mayhew played Minotaur when it was some real live action shots or whatever.
Oh, so that was his hand on the plinth there that moved.
We need a really tall guy so we can shoot his hand.
Yeah, I don't know what he would have had a chance to do, but I guess he acted about as much as he did with Chewie. Wait, did I just say that? Never mind, people. Chewbacca is an excellent actor. You know what? I'm just going to throw this in there, and we don't have to dwell on it, but Jane Seymour and some cornrows.
Yeah.
Jane Seymour with some cornrows. I mean, worth watching just to check it out.
Well, I see what you brought forward, and I'm going to bring up Jane Seymour with her hair. It's been crimped.
Right, because that's what happens when you plait your hair and you leave it there for a little bit. You know, it comes down perfectly crimped, like you're an exotic pirate wench from 1982.
Yeah,
not a bad look.
We could have just stopped at Jane Seymour, and that would have been fine. So
yeah, I give you that.
Do we want to talk about Patrick Wayne for any reason? Because I remember as a kid thinking, okay, he looks more like a cool Sinbad than the ones in the other movies, but Patrick Wayne is really not a good actor.
Yeah, you know, I hardly even notice him. Like, you know, he swings a sword around and kisses the girl, and then that's about it.
I read a thing where they said that, you know, when he got the part and they dressed him up and they let him grow the beard, and they said, man, he had the look, and they said, but we were in trouble as soon as he opened his mouth.
Nice.
Yeah,
I heard that.
And nothing. I mean, of course, he's John Wayne's son, so I mean, you know, I guess that was that, you know, the cloud of trying to live off of that, but he's just not a good actor.
Yeah, I didn't know any of this, so
yeah,
now I do.
Show enough.
Show enough.
Show enough. Wrong movie, but show enough.
You know what? I wouldn't have been surprised if a stop motion show enough showed up as the bad guy in the end of this one.
That would have been interesting in that last 25 seconds of chaos that happens.
Man, well, they threw everything with a kitchen sink in that last fight, man.
Oh, so what you got next?
I have another question. Okay, so Minotaur can't steer the boat, obviously, but here's a question I've got. Zenobia shows up. She's in a palanquin, you know, being carried by all these people down the middle of the street. Man, her palanquin's being carried by a bunch of harem girls.
Yeah.
I mean,
equal rights.
Equal rights. Zenobia was ahead of the curve when it came to equal work for both genders, and I appreciate it. I also got to say that she does the best Bette Midler impersonation of any, you know, sorceress that I've ever seen in a movie. She's got this whole throaty, like, oh, you go ahead, and she's got this Russian accent. It's fantastic.
Which makes perfect sense when you're in a I don't know.
Mesopotamia. I don't know where are they supposed to be.
Definitely not in Russia. So
no, but Zenobia's mean, man. She's got the eye of the tiger.
Yeah. Well, my next thing is you get to see a naked girl pet a monkey. It's true.
And in 1977, you know, it was harder to come across that kind of stuff.
Hail Ming.
But yeah, I mean, there's a scene where Jane Seymour and our other young lady that ends up joining the fold, they reach the, I don't know what land they're at this point. They've jumped around so much, but, you know, they go for a little skinny dipping, some fun here, a bath or whatever, and, yeah, they don't have much clothing on, and, yeah, she pets the baboon for a while, and everything's okay for some reason.
Yeah, that's when they get to Hyperborea, right? Where right before they pick up Trog,
yep.
and it's
naked
a good
girl
reason.
Petting a monkey.
It's a good reason. As a matter of fact, you know, the desire to look in on this guy is another reason of mine. Like, the window washer just wanted to peep on Jane Seymour, and instead he got into a fight with a baboon. And he's out there tarring the boat, right? You know, he's got, I'm just going to look in this window, you know, and he looks in the window, and Jane Seymour's in there, and what's she doing? She's playing chess with the baboon, and he's like, what is this? And it makes him so mad that he decides to come on in and, like, make himself known. The baboon attacks him, and that's when it revealed that, you know, it's not the baboon at all. It's Christopher Plummer, and he likes to play chess. So,
yep.
But I mean, this dude, he's kind of Sinbad's, you know, I don't know, like sleazier kind of companion. He's the guy who's always like, oh, we could just slit their throats and take all their stuff. You know, he's that guy. And
no, calm down. These are the good people.
True.
Yeah, he's kind of the gopher, right? You know, he's always on board, but he's ready to throw down at any moment, and he gets his chances from time to time, but
he survives.
It's a wonder he doesn't die like from the beginning, because he's just one of those people's like, you want to fight? Let's go, you know.
The black dude in there, you know, and I'm just saying that because there was only one, not because I wish I knew his name, but I don't. He says like, I owe my life 3 times to Sinbad, and then like in the next scene he's dead. It's like, what about so and so? He's gone. Like they didn't even like he gets saved, and that's worth mentioning. But when he dies, it's just like off screen somewhere.
You know, it's not called Sinbad's group of men. In the Eye of the Tiger.
Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger. It is 12 compatriots. Yeah, I get you.
So, yeah, everybody's expendable because, you know, Sinbad's got to be the one that makes it at the end. Which we forgot to even mention that he decides that he's going to go save the prince. 1, because, you know, it's a friend of his. But 2, the way he gets paid, he gets to throw down with Jane Seymour.
That's right. He's you can not pay me with the what, but with who? And yeah, this is okay, I guess.
Yeah, well, you know, it's the old world. That's kind of.
She was into it.
She wouldn't disagreeing, right?
She was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good plan, Dad." Yeah.
So it's like with me though. It's like, well, if she's going on the trip anyways, then, I mean, isn't she already like, sure? Why do we wait? Why do we wait till then? Let's just get it on now.
You know, because the plot gods require things. But I think we might be straying a little too much. So our reasons to watch the movie, and we got Jane Seymour, we got awesome monsters, we got Minotaur, the brass Minotaur and his ship. That's Zenobia's ship, and Zenobia's scary. Okay, we make fun of her, but she's scary, man.
Yeah, she is. Yeah,
you're a kid watching Zenobia. She's scary.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to meet her now.
No. So
especially,
just to catch
what happens to her later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's something that I want to talk about just with a little bit of length because.
Sure.
Yeah. So but first I got to get to the dangerous Blue Screen Island, right? So Blue Screen Island is where they go and they find Dione and Melanthius. You know, the old guy who's going to help them turn Prince Cassian back. And like, I don't know why they can have scenes of the people walking through a valley, but then when it comes time to show the actors up close, they've got to blue screen the valley. Could they not do those scenes at the same time?
Well, and of course, the problem is back in the day, when you shot this stuff, there was no thing as so-called HD or anything like that, so people didn't really worry about that stuff, but you're exactly right. You watch it now and you're like, wow. The only way I can describe it is it must be pickup shots. Maybe something changed,
right?
And they had to go back and redo lines, and they just took still shots and put it behind them, and it does look bad.
Well, like you said, they move so fast in so many different directions in this movie. Maybe they decided later we need a little explanation. So the scenes where they're up close, they're describing, oh, here's where we are, and we're here because we're trying to find this guy. Whereas they felt like it would be intuitive when they filmed it in the first place. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird one, but it's all worth it because Melanthius is pretty awesome.
Yeah, he was one of the Doctor Who's too.
Yeah, right.
Of course, he didn't look like Moses at that point, but
Moses.
And I will say that my stomach started hurting, and my doctor did say Melanthius.
Not
bad
Malanta?
Joke. Bad joke.
So where are we at? Is it you or is it me? It's
you.
It's me. Well, I kind of said it a while ago, but I have to go with the trog, man. The troglodyte. It's very reminiscent of the Cyclops from the first Sinbad movie, except he's a trog. So, not a great thinker. Feels threatened at first when he sees all of them. Of course, then, they're sensitive to the female of the gender. So, you get the Melanthius's daughter. I guess it's his daughter, or is it her niece?
Yeah. Dione.
Yeah,
she's Melanthius' daughter, and
tries talking to him, and he's like not as scared. But then the baboon walks up, and they have a full-fledged conversation going on, and that's kind of how this whole thing works because he's a trog.
And I'll give it to Melanthius, man. Like he is more than willing to put the women in the party like right up front and center with just about anything. Like, the women probably won't upset him. Go, like just pushing it at the monsters.
Well, I think there's one point in the movie where he says, do what you want to the girl, just leave me alone.
Hail Ming.
And I want to say, so when they go to get Melanthius, I kind of synopsized how the conversation goes. He says, no, I won't go. It won't work. And then he finds this key, and he's like, hey, I've got this key. Hey, watch this laser. Yeah, I'll go.
I've got some of his stuff, too, because the whole time through the whole trip, all he's doing is complaining, like, we don't have enough time for that. We're running out of time. Hey, there's a way we can go right there. Hey, we can't go. If we could only go through the tunnel, it would save us so much time, but we don't have time.
He's a surly old bat, man.
That's what I got. I got Melanthius' time rants, because he does it the whole time. We don't have enough time.
Yeah,
Hey, Melanthius, you want a part of this sandwich? We don't have enough time for a sandwich.
He can't complain about anything. He really makes some dicey decisions.
Yeah, he does. Because he don't have time to think.
That's it. It's like, do you think I learned to be wise by taking my time? I was like, yeah, we were living alone on that island, or with your daughter.
But as cool as he is, the Trog to me is the hero of the day, man. I mean, he takes it for the team.
Yeah, Troglodyte is 100% the hero of the day, more so than Sinbad.
Yeah.
I mean, Sinbad doesn't beat any. Well, I mean, I think Sinbad steps in after Trog gets killed, but
after Trog's done the damage to the saber-toothed tiger, then he's like, oh, okay, I can take it from here.
He's like the king from Dragon Slayer, going over and stabbing the dead body.
A good comparison. I like that.
Thanks. Okay, I'm just gonna lay this out. This part of the movie haunted me. And I know you know where I'm going.
Uh-huh.
Zenobia transforms herself to a bird so she can go spy on the other ship. Becomes a little mini Zenobia, is running around as a 6-inch tall woman on the ship. She gets caught. Melanthius puts her under a jar, and he's all scary looking through the jar at her, and he's like, well, we'll have to interrogate her. He scares her to death with this wasp. And then he finds her a magic potion and decides to feed it to the wasp. And then they have to kill this wasp. I mean, this whole thing is... And then she comes back and she doesn't have enough potion left. So she ends up having a big albatross leg, man.
Right, yeah.
And that whole sequence is just, so bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, it's part Bride of Frankenstein. They do a lot of these visuals in Bride of Frankenstein. Obviously, that's where they pulled some of it. But the whole deal of, hey, I'm going to feed it to this bee here and see what happens. Next thing you know, you get a 3-foot-long bee flying around, and he's swatting at it with paper. I'm like, dude, pick up something else. Well, that map is not going to do it.
Sinbad runs in and throws the letter opener at it, and then it's just like a little rubber bee stuck to the wall, But I guess that was his moment. That was his Trog moment.
And while that's going on, she's going back over to the potion that's been spilled out and just lapping it up on the floor. And just like, man, this is psycho.
That's weird, man.
Turns back into albatross, flies across, gets back to her boat, changes back, but it wasn't enough potion. And then it pans down to her leg, and I was like, yeah! Webbed feet. So, here's my question. Does an albatross have webbed feet?
Well, I remember it being an albatross, but watching it, I guess it was a seagull or something.
Seagull?
It was just like a bird leg, man. I mean...
Well, it's like a duck leg. Does a seagull have webbed feet, or do they have, claws?
I don't know, but they have that reveal instrument when they show her leg. It's like that, and whenever that noise happens, it's something bad. It's like somebody's throat's been slit or somebody's mom is dead or something like that. That noise is never good.
So my question is how can she determine what you turn into when she takes this stuff? I mean,
it seems like magic just does what magic does, man. You take your magic potion, you throw it at stuff, and see what happens.
I mean, it's like, hey, I'm going to, when the prince is about to be crowned, I'm going to make this fire jump up, and he's going to turn into whatever kind of animal. Oh, baboon. All right, kick ass.
She poured some of that stuff on Minotaur, too. She was like, I'm pouring this stuff on him. It was just like all-purpose magic potion.
It's the WD-40 of its time.
We need to see if we can get them as a sponsor. All-purpose magic potion.
Hey,
just let it do what it do.
Yeah, work on that one next time. Let's see if that turns out lucrative for us.
Yeah, I make no promises.
So now we got our bad person hobbling around with the duck foot. And the next on my list.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, again, going back to the brass boat. You know, there's this tunnel that's a quicker passageway. Sinbad boats is too big, so they have to go around a ship, basically. But Winona's big brass boat, it can go right in this cave. And they find the quick way in. And I love the fact of, you know, do they get there just at the time when they jump out, or had they been there a while, been hiding? I haven't figured this out yet. But I love the fact of we've chased them all across the planet at this point. Through the Antarctic, through all the other areas as well. And we get to this point where her son, Rafi, is supposed to be the one that's going to be taking the throne, jumps out with a sword on top of a staircase that goes into a magical waterfall, I guess.
Well, it's the Aurora Borealis. It's like this magnetic wave where the northern lights come up out of that place.
Yeah, it looks like a waterfall.
Yeah, it's weird looking, yeah.
I mean, but he jumps out and says, you know, his mom says, kill him! And he goes for the baboon, and he missteps and lands on the monkey, and they tumble down the steps, and it breaks his neck. I love the fact that we've chased him all this time, and within, I don't know, 20 seconds of seeing him, dude gets killed, and I'm pretty sure she's just going, oh, crap, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but and you're right, though. She totally says, go get him, go kill him. You know, like she throws him into like 10 dudes to go kill him. Like what did you think was going to happen?
I mean, the staircase is like super steep, right? So, I mean, dude, breaks his neck. And it's just the expression of, oh, crap, I didn't think this through very well.
Here's a reason to watch. Rafi with his neck broken. I mean,
yeah.
He's like all bent and twisted at the bottom of that staircase. I mean, it's really good. That's probably the best acting in the movie.
Yeah, it's good. It does look good. But not just a few minutes before this, you had the ending of Minotaur, because he actually pulled out one of these big blocks that's one of the passageways, and when he pulls it out, he just pulls it out on top of himself and squishes himself. So he dies about as useful as Boba Fett does in Return of the Jedi. It's just one of those, really?
Yeah.
We had this character this far, and this is what happens?
Yeah, Zenobia like throws some more magic potion at the rock. She's like, and then when she says, "Oh, great mystery, reveal your secret," or maybe she says something about the dark gods or something. And she, you know, loosens it, I guess, with the explosion. And then Minotaur, and this might be where Peter Mayhew really got to act. You know, Minotaur starts moving the rock, and he's like, and then the thing falls on him.
Just a waste of a great character. I mean, you know, we've been
I
using
always
him all
thought so,
this
too.
time. It's like, can't wait for the showdown, because how are they going to stop him? Oh, he's going to get crushed by a big rock.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Trog versus Minotaur, but I guess, you know, maybe Ray Harryhausen, you know, was like, no, he gets crushed by a block. I'm done with that guy. I don't like animating that metal thing. Give me a cat.
Give me a walrus.
A walrus.
The giant walrus.
In my... Okay, so, yeah, and as a kid, even as a kid, man, the walrus fight, you can fast forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is where the dude's like, Sinbad has saved my life, because he gets dragged toward the ice hole for like the ice hole. He gets dragged toward the ice for like 12 scenes, you know, like, oh, cut me loose, get your knife, cut me loose. And the walrus is running away. I might preface this: a walrus comes up out of the ice. That's it. Then they fight that walrus, and then one of the dudes gets wrapped up in a net that the walrus is dragging, and then he's like, cut me loose, and he's like Nanog and Krull, you know. It just takes forever for them to save this guy, and then they save him, and he's like, "Oh, I owe my life to Sinbad for a third time," and then he dies in like the last act anyway.
Yeah, Way to support us there, man.
Yeah.
Your ending didn't really help us at all, but okay.
Just forget the walrus fight. If you're
the
watching the
giant
movie,
walrus coming up, and they're like, "Hey, aim for its eyes." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I just love the fact that they run out in the ice, like, "Hey, look, it's cracking. What could it be? I don't know. Maybe you ought to get out of there."
walrus fight, big thumbs down.
Yeah, and that's another thing they talked about with this movie is they got away from a lot of the weirder monsters and stuff. They went with more like actual creatures, the walrus, the seagulls, the bee. I mean, instead of it being, here's a 7-armed cyclops, or
Yeah. There's a dragon in one of them that is at Golden Voyage, where they've got a collar on his neck, and the wizard cranks him back to the wall. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, the wizard from Golden Voyage is another Doctor Who. It's Tom Baker.
They just got all hooed up in that place, didn't they?
Didn't they? They were like, well, who can we get? Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you know what monster is good? The saber-toothed damn tiger.
He's a fluffy. He's very fluffy.
He's fluffy. So when they first go into this shrine, and Rafi, has his unfortunate end. Then so Zenobia, her eyes turn into the eyes of the tiger, which happens throughout the movie. That's kind of your reasoning for the title. And she becomes a green mist and fills this frozen saber-toothed tiger that was the guardian of the shrine. And it's starting to melt, so he breaks loose, and then they've got this evil wizard / saber-toothed tiger to fight.
Right. And so Trog steps up, finds Minotaur's spear.
Yeah.
And starts using it. At first he's like, hey, this is almost big enough for me to use as a weapon.
Yeah, he drops his club and picks up the spear, which might not have been a good move, because later he's trying
Probably
to
not.
swing it.
Yeah.
He's like, swing this thing, and it's like, man, it's pointy. Stab with it.
Yeah, well, Trog's not the smartest. I mean, that's just a given, right? But he's doing what he can. I think if he had a better weapon selection, he had a better shot. He could have just stabbed it with the horn on his head.
Yeah, he was like a caveman unicorn,
which should be all powerful in my book.
I'm sure it was a magical horn.
But yeah, I mean, the fight scene here, I mean, it's stop motion mastery. I mean, it's just, the thing is the saber-toothed tiger is really fluffy. So something that's been, captured in ice all this time, and it comes out and it's not slick. It's like poofy,
It's magic. It just got to blow dry,
But with that being said, I mean, the fight between the saber-tooth and the Trog is great. That's why you're watching this movie. Right?
Yeah. I mean, who cares whether or not the prince gets transformed back? I mean, yeah, but who cares? You're there to watch the troglodyte fight the saber-toothed tiger, and really wonder the whole time why it's not the troglodyte fighting Minotaur.
I'd have loved it when they pulled him down out of the lights and he changed back to the prince and they saw him. If they just said, "Yeah, you know what? Let's put him back as the monkey." He was better off. Just put him back in there. No, wait! You've healed me. I appreciate it. No, we want the baboon back.
Yeah, we like the baboon. He could talk to Trog.
We need somebody to tell Trog to leave that tiger alone.
Tell Trog you stab with a spear. What the hell, man? So yeah, they transform Prince Cassian back. It's not why you're watching the movie, but just in case you were bated breath, waiting for the end. Yeah, that's what happens. He gets transformed back, and then there's a wedding at the end, right? But
yeah, I mean, that's the thing is while that's going on, they're just showing the credits over.
Yeah.
So even the people making the movie knows it doesn't matter.
I've got in my notes, Jan Housen was the hairdresser. I know because it was right in front of Prince Casim's face during his wedding. It's like, it ends like a kung fu movie. It's like, okay, no more fighting, and it's over.
Yeah. I mean, it could have only been better if it just cut away to, like Sinbad and Jane Seymour in bed, like
like a James Bond flick or something. With Jane Seymour too. She was in a James Bond flick that too.
She was a Bond, a bunch. Well, and in the Golden Voyage, you had Carolyn Monroe, which was another Bond girl. So there you go.
You might remember from Captain Kronos. Yeah.
Captain Kronos, yeah.
Yeah.
And Star Crash. Did you ever see Star Crash?
No,
it's not a movie. You either saw it or you didn't.
I haven't seen Star Crash. I had to think because I didn't want to get it confused with another similar title.
It's pretty terrible, but it's one of those so bad it's good movies. You know, it's a short bus film for sure.
I'm just gonna say right now for the Hail Ming listeners, you know, maybe this is enjoyable if you're a fan of Sinbad movies. I definitely still went back to being a kid and really enjoying it, but I mean, it doesn't hold up. I got to be honest.
It still gives me the warm and fuzzies because of the nostalgia, but I'm kind of the same way. I mean, it's we would complain if they made new Sinbad movies and it was all CGI because it'd be like, CGI.
Right.
But these like I said, at this point when this came out, you were really just squeezing every drop out of this type of movie making that you could, and there's a reason that it stopped, you know. So is it fun to watch? Sure. Just don't expect a lot to walk away with because it's not that kind of movie.
Yeah, and I would love to say that it's a fast forward kind of movie. You can skip all the bad acting and the plot, but even if you fast forward through it, other than that section in the middle that I pointed out, where she flies over and becomes small and all that, that's kind of a trippy, interesting little point. But with the effects being what they are now, it's really hard to say it'd be worth watching those for fun.
Even her transformation, because it's one of those Technicolor wonders, you know, where she just, you know, magically they blur out the screen in color and then she's turned into a seagull. It's very reminiscent of some of the stuff that they used in Altered States. Some of the color flashes and stuff they did. So, I mean, that's still, you know, like you said, it's very trippy. It does draw you in, and you're focusing on these things. They're just kind of short-lived.
Well, and the creepiest part is the fact that, you know, she's screaming, and then it becomes the seagulls, screeching. Yeah, and that, like I said, it's just more like a nightmare sequence. And there's something really dreamily eerie about the whole thing. But I can't say based on that, it's worth you spending 2 hours of your life watching it, you know?
Right. And without Melanthius and Zenobia's acting, this thing really falls flat.
True.
Because everybody
they're both
else
really
is just
good.
Kind of cardboard, just like everybody else in all the other Sinbad movies. So if you're watching a Sinbad movie, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You're not getting a work of art that's going to, you know, get an Oscar. You're looking at special effects and a reason, you know, some sword play and, you know, adventure type stuff. That's
weird monsters and dashing adventurers and scantily clad maids, you know, that kind of thing.
Yep.
I will say that I do want to draw attention. If you do find yourself watching this, when Zenobia does go through the tunnel, because that's how they beat him to the shrine, is their ship is small enough to go through the tunnel that Melanthius knew about. There's all these sepulchers or coffins along the walls.
Yeah.
And the look on Raffi and Zenobia's faces while they're watching these things is priceless. Probably because there's nothing there. They're just being instructed like actors. You know, Lois pointed that out. I didn't even think about it. They're being instructed. Now look at the wall. Now you see corpses in boxes. You know, so like the look on their face is hilarious.
All right, so that's going to bring us up to, I don't even have rating time. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to give it 27 Timex Minotaur hearts.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to give it a big Trout Club replaced by a big bronze Minotaur spear.
All right.
And that thing had to be 16 feet long. That spear was huge.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like it doesn't make sense when the Trog picks it up because it should have been a lot smaller to him. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Was he bigger than Minotaur?
Well, the Trog was big, but Minotaur was almost kind of human size.
Yeah, he was. He was kind of like 9 feet tall. He was like a... Yeah.
Kind of in between, yeah. So his spear would have been kind of small for Trog. But hey, anyways, what are we complaining about? So, we haven't heard from him in a while, but Brian Blessed, what do you think about Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger?
Give me the remote control.
I guess he's not a fan.
Well, it's no Flash Gordon.
Well, ain't that the truth? All right, folks, we'll be right back. Have you been injured on the job? How about being seriously maimed while chasing an enemy of your family? Sometimes you can't be too safe. And that's why I invented Rafi's neck brace. Injuries can happen in the heat of battle, and a little protection can go a long way. And I'm not just the owner, I'm a client. So trust your safety with our original blend of synthetic fibers that supports, but doesn't make you sweat. Yes, your neck may not work, but at least it can breathe. So send your money orders now to P.O. Box
Does this
I
sound
Hate That Baboon
familiar?
to get yours today.
Where do we want to go on
Because a neck
vacation?
is a terrible
I want
thing
to go
to
camping.
waste.
I vote amusement park.
Music festival.
The beach.
No one can ever agree. Now you can have it all without leaving your home. With Blue Screen Island as seen on Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
Sun and surf. This is the life. I wish it was warm, though. This is great to look at.
Wow, fun for them.
It's almost like being there. Almost.
With the new Corona special, you can tour these new locales. Like school.
It's like I'm back.
And the ever-popular stocked grocery store.
Look at all the toilet paper.
Blue Screen Island. Book yours today.
Minotaur, he is stronger than anyone. Rows a ship really fast, grabs a spear, stabs your ass. Look out, stronger than any other. He's really one bad mother. Here comes the Minotaur. When we last left Minotaur, Dr. Klon and Shiki were close to finding the lost treasure. Shiki, I am sure there's an opening around here somewhere. I'm sure we'll find it, Dr. Klon. Be on the lookout for any source of openings. Dr. Klon, I feel air coming around this huge boulder. I'm sure our treasure is right behind this huge boulder. But how do we get it out? I know, Dr. Klon. How about we get Minotaur to do it? Great idea, Shiki. Minotaur! Come here a minute! Minotaur, I need you to pull this boulder out of the way. Do you think you can do it? Fantastic! Stand back, Shiki! You've almost got it! Almost! Oh no, Dr. Klon! The boulder fell right on top of Minotaur! I see that. Oh well. Good job, Minotaur. See you later, Minotaur! Stronger than any other. He's really one bad mother. Here comes the Minotaur! Alright, folks, hey, we hope you enjoyed this episode. It's great to go back and visit these, even if it doesn't live up to the expectations of what you remember. I still love this movie regardless. It's going to be one of those that if it's on, I'm still going to watch the high points, and I'll probably go do something else when it's not at the high points. But, again, it still gives me the warms and fuzzies when I watch it. But if you have ideas for something you want us to cover, let us know, right? So
Yeah.
we got a Facebook group, got a Facebook page. If there's something you say, hey guys, how about this movie? And we'll say, no thanks.
No, but we're there for the people listening, and this time, if they need something to occupy their day-to-day, then, we're in the same boat. We'd love to help.
Absolutely. So I don't know of anything else that's going on. Just be looking for some more episodes. We're going to try to get back, if we can, to try and release a little more consistently. That's kind of the plan here. And it's been a challenge because all three of us are really, really busy. So we're going to try this, see how it works. Like I said, if you have questions, comments, any of that good stuff, just let us know. We like for it to be open communicate.
Yeah,
that too. Open communication.
I think
Open communication.
I think you just nullified your own argument there. Hey, but don't you have something new coming out, Rick?
I do. I just don't know if it'll be out before this will. I don't know. Maybe come out about the same time.
Hey, so everybody be looking out for Rick's new tandem project with Billy Stewart called You Know What's Awesome, right?
You Know What's Awesome. So Billy hit me up a while back from Scary Dad, if you guys are not familiar with Scary Dad. If you've listened to Hail Ming, you've heard us talk about Billy Stewart quite a bit. Scary Dad is a great podcast, and we're buddies with them. Danny and I both have kind of gotten together, and we've done some shows together with the guys from Scary Dad. And also, when I first started Dude Looks Like the 80s, Billy was on board with it, and we just couldn't get everybody's schedules together. But, it is what it is. But he decided he wanted to try another venture and asked me to come along. And it's going to be a fun show. It's going to be just kind of pop culture. First episode is going to be Karate Kid. And it's going to jump around. It's not going to be just movies. It's going to be, hey, you know what's cool? Going back to the old video stores, or, it can be anything. Trapper Keepers. It can be skateboards, albums. So it's going to be kind of an open discussion. It'll be on the Legion Podcast Network. So, if you want to be checking that out. And I know that Danny and myself both have some ideas that we're kicking around for some other skits, I guess you'd say. So we're trying to figure out what that is and make that work, but we don't want to reveal too much just yet, unless you want to.
Oh, and I think that it's best to keep surprise, or at least manage expectations on that one, because who knows how the day's going to turn. I know I'm still going to work, and I still have stuff I've got to do, and I don't want to tell people I'm going to do something when I'm not. But I'm sure that we will keep feeding the lines with something as long as I can work with somebody else. So
right. So we're main thing, folks, is we hope that joining us kind of takes your mind off the chaos that's going on. We ask that just be safe, be smart with everything that's going on, folks. We know it's kind of a trying time, and we hope that maybe we can take your mind off of it for an hour or so. And we care about you folks. We're in the same situation, and it affects everyone. And we just want to kind of make sure that you're aware that we do care.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have been our fans for a while, and we're happy to have people to broadcast to. So if there's anything we can do to make your day better, then let us know.
Unless it's something we don't want to talk about.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the appeal, is that we're a good guardsmen of that gate. We're not just going to bring anything in. Now, I'm not going to do Doll Man. No.
Come on, man. Charles Band?
Did I stutter?
All right, folks, that's it for us. Danny, you got anything else?
Nope. Just stay safe out there, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. That's us signing out, folks. Sayonara.
When a man becomes a baboon, and his sister is given to a sailor, so they go to an island to find a man with a telepathic daughter, and they all go to the Arctic to find a shrine under the northern lights, guarded by a saber-toothed tiger who kills a caveman with a horn in his forehead. One thing is certain: you're gonna fight a walrus. Well, that's it. Until next time, remember, actions speak louder than catchphrases. Thanks, Minions.
Members of the audience will receive the following: classic curves by Dittos, the pants for feel-good company, a gift certificate from Maru-chan Ramen Noodles, Rice-A-Roni. All guests receive a copy of the Hail Ming home game. Thanks to the creative minds and special appearances of Mark Allison, Jeremy Finch, and Jacob Kennedy. Hail Ming is a proud member of Legion Podcasts. Check out all the great shows at legionpodcast.com. Hail Ming is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Legion Podcast. This is Dan Pardo saying good night.
We are going to empty your memories.